Greetings, everyone, and welcome to number 6 on my lesser known but awesome heroes Black History mini marathon. And as you can tell by this picture and in the title at the beginning of the intro, yes, I'll be talking about John Stewart. Yes, the only so far African American Green Lantern. Most of you may remember him from the Justice League and Justice League Unlimited cartoons, but let's get into the comic book origins, shall we? He first appeared in Green Lantern Volume 2, number 87 in December 1971 to January of 1972, and he was created by Denny O'Neil and Neil Adams. He has been part of the Green Lantern Corps, the Justice League, the Dark Stars, the U.S. Marine Corps, and the Indigo Tribe. And he has become a major recurring character in the Green Lantern universe, often in the Green Lantern Corps books, though there was a time when he did actually take over as the main Green Lantern. And he also had his own spin-off comic there for a while called Green Lantern Mozoic, where he was basically the mortal guardian of a world of patches of worlds that had been destroyed but were preserved by the Guardians. And let me get into this. John Stewart is an architect and veteran U.S. Marine from Detroit. He was selected by the Guardians as Hal Jordan's backup after Guy Garner was seriously injured in a disaster. Although Jordan objected after seeing that Stewart had a belligerent attitude towards authority figures, the Guardians stood by their selection and chided Jordan for his supposed bigoted outlook on the issue. Jordan explained that he just felt that even though Stewart might have the integrity for the task, he obviously would have a chip on his shoulder bigger than the rock of Gibraltar. I don't quite know exactly how to pronounce the name. To Stewart, to Jordan, Stewart's first mission began badly with the assignment of protecting a racist politician, and Stewart took advantage of averting an accident to embarrass him in the process. However, Stewart soon proved his worth when an assassin shot at the politician, but Stewart refused to intervene with Jordan to move in response to the attack. Stewart had good reasons for this apparent deliberation of duty when he stopped a gunman from killing a police officer in the outside parking lot of the event while Jordan was pursuing a decoy. When Jordan confronted Stewart about his actions, Stewart explained that the politician had staged it for political advantage. With that adventure, Jordan concluded that Stewart was an excellent recruit after all. He would fill in occasionally from time to time whenever Jordan was unavailable and do some missions with the Justice League. When Jordan gave up in the 1980s as Green Lantern, the Guardians selected Stewart for full-time duty. And he would eventually meet and marry Katma Tui, the Green Lantern of the planet Koragar, who apparently was assigned to train John to use his ring. Kat and John served together with the Green Lantern Corps alongside Hal Jordan, Azura, Kilowog, Salak, and other alien Green Lanterns. When his ring was rendered useless through the schemes of Sinestro and Katma Tui was murdered at the hands of the insane Star Sapphire, his life began to unravel. At first, he was falsely accused of killing Carol Ferris, Star Sapphire's alter ego, and then falsely accused of theft by South Nimba, a fictional DCU nation similar to South Africa. Jailed and tortured for weeks, John freed himself with his own ring, now repowered thanks to the efforts of Hal Jordan. As a result, he inadvertently freed both a serial killer and a terrorist. When Jordan confronted John over his actions, the two friends came to blows until John realized the revolutionaries he had been aiding intended to murder innocent civilians. Afterwards, he would leave Earth for space, where he participated in a Cosmic Odyssey mini-series, and failed to prevent the destruction of the planet Zan Sai by an avatar of the anti-life equation. The incident earned him the heir of John Jones, the Martian Manhunter, who was with him at the time. This series of tragedies left John a shattered man on the brink of suicide and created a villainess known as Fatality. John Jones since then has at least civilly forgiven him. And when John finally forgave himself for his past mistakes and grew into a much stronger and better individual, he would eventually become the caretaker of Mesoic World, which I mentioned to you a while ago. And following the Emerald Twilight story and the collapse of the Green Lantern Corps, he would actually join the Dark Stars and would fill in for Kyle Rayner in the Justice League from time to time. He was also one of the many major players in Green Lantern Rebirth and the Sinestro Corps Wars and Worlds Collide. He was also in Worlds Collide. He was also a major player in Blackest Night and Brightest Day and War of the Green Lanterns. And in the New 52, he will be teamed up alongside Guy Garner and Kilowog as part of the new Green Lantern Corps comics. So, yeah. Needless to say, and John Stewart actually has accomplished one of John Stewart's most major feats, aside from although negatively he's destroyed 2 worlds. You know, he does regret these actions, as he didn't really want to do them, and he feels that, you know, he can never really fully forgive himself for these instances. However, John Stewart, one of his greatest feats is that he was able to exceed the power of his ring, meaning that his willpower is so strong that he actually once tried to reconstruct an entire planet. A feat that had never been done with the Owen power rings before. Unfortunately, it failed, but this shows you guys just how strong John Stewart as a character is. And while he is not lesser known, and while a lot of people have gotten exposed to him through the Justice League cartoons and the one episode of Static Shock and whatnot and what have you, and the Green Lantern Corps books, I still feel that John Stewart more than deserves his mention. And after reading all this biography information, I have a lot more respect for John Stewart as a character. And nevertheless, it is all these tragedies and his ability to overcome them that makes John Stewart a very awesome hero.